is.
The day after I got him back from Miss Newman, I went to the vet that she had took him to, and they told me that he came in perfectly fine and that she just came in to get him neutered.
Did you get any documents from the veterinarian?
Yes, I did. I got the surgical procedure sheet.
Do you have a copy of those documents?
I do.
Let's take a look at who we're talking about here. This is one of the photographs you gave us. Which of these two?
He is the lighter, the...
Gray?
Yes.
What was the name of the Papa?
Papa.
And I believe you have a photograph also of how he looked when he was brought to you?
He was skin and bones when he was brought to me. So it would be Exhibit A on page 7. You can see his ribs in that picture.
Matter of fact, a healthy American bully
That's the same
should be
dog.
anywhere between 65 to 75 pounds or so.
I would agree, yeah.
The veterinarian bill that you gave us shows that he weighed 37.5 pounds.
Yeah.
But there was no indication whatsoever about an infection.
Also,
so do you have any other vet bills to support what you're saying? Because the defendant's claiming that you just kind of, you know.
I do not, and we actually are not using this vet anymore because we've had so many issues with him not documenting stuff, and that I was just opting out to neuter him because of the cost, and that's all the funds I could raise was the amount for
How much did it cost you to have him neutered?
$248 and
Did you
50 cents.
reimburse the defendant?
No, I did ask her if she wanted to be reimbursed.
And what did she say?
She said no.
Is that right? You took
Yes,
that
sir.
on yourself? Judge Tawalda.
Ms. Newman, at some point in conversation with the plaintiff, you claimed that you did have records of this infection, no?
I told her that I did have the neuter and the information from the vet, yes. I was not under the impression she got records from my vet, which was also illegal. They did not have the right to do that.
But in your records, it didn't state anything about an infection.
I was not aware of that because when I spoke to the vet on the phone, he was understanding that there was an infection, that I've already spoken to my other vet, and that I wanted to neuter the dog. So it was not put into the notes, which usually with a neuter, they don't put stuff in notes like that anyway.
Why didn't you just take the dog to your vet, the one you spoke
My
to?
normal vet didn't have the space to neuter him.
So just based on a FaceTime call, she suggested that there was an infection.
Yes.
You told that to the vet that you did use.
Yes.
Did they not agree or
He
say?
did agree, yes. When
He
he
did.
seen the dog when it got there, he did agree that the easiest route would be to neuter him.
But did they agree that there was an infection?
Yes.
You're saying that that was just conveniently left off in the records.
Honestly, didn't think of it because when Breyona picked the dog up from me, she actually thanked me for neutering her dog and said she was going to do it in the future, and there was no issues or concerns at that time.
At what point did you realize that the information wasn't in the records?
When she illegally got my records from my vet, that's when I went down and asked for my records myself.
All right, so Ms. Curl, is it true that you were planning on getting Papa neutered?
No.
You never had that conversation with
No, I
the
didn't.
defendant? Okay.
I picked him up, she gave me the papers, and then we went on our way home.
When was this picture taken?
Probably a month before I got him.
A month before you got him?
Yeah, like it was before, like the breeders before me.
Is this Papa?
Yes.
Why is Papa so thin?
He wasn't eating the dog food that I had gotten him, and I think like him and my...
Yeah, but they don't lose weight overnight.
No, it was him and my female. I didn't know that he wasn't eating the dog food that that I was
How do
eating
you not
them.
know he's not eating? If the
Because,
bowl is still
well,
full, he's not eating.
My female would eat his food, and so they were outside sometimes.
And this went on so long that he lost all this weight and you didn't recognize a difference in weight?
Well, not until like later on, because I'm always working a lot.
Okay, so you weren't a very attentive dog parent?
Not really, no.
Not really. But you wanted to breed him?
Yeah, well, that was like next year. It would have happened next year. I was planning on doing it next year.
How were you in the process of being licensed? Did you start that process?
No, because I'm actually planning on moving out of state, so everything was kind of happening out of state.
At what point did it bother you that the defendant got Papa neutered?
It bothered me
Immediately?
in the beginning when I first got the vet records. The records does state that he was a healthy pet.
And you went and spoke to the actual vet who
Yes,
performed
I did. I went
the
there
operation?
Yes, I went there the day after he was neutered, and I talked with them, and they gave me the vet records. They told me he came in just fine, and that
Never mentioned the infection?
No, they said I didn't mention the infection to them. I asked them, I was like, did he have an infection? And they said that he had no infection, that he came in perfectly fine, and that she just came in and got him neutered.